Hi, my name is Tom Whalegum, and we are broadcasting live here at ASUG Annual Conference in Sapphire Now 2015. Welcome to the ASUG News Studio. We got a great show. We are breaking news here. We've got an amazing story to share about Florida crystals, and I'm going to just go out and say it. This is the first company in the world to go on SAP S4HANA Simple Finance, and we have Don Whittington in here, the CIO of Florida Crystals. Don, welcome back to the studio. It's great to have you here.
Tom, it's really good to be here. I'm back with my ASUG friends.
Absolutely.
So you may recall 2 years ago that we actually had this same kind of thing when we were one of the first to go live on Business Suite on HANA.
Correct.
2 years ago right now.
That's awesome. So we're going to update that story. To your right is Jens Kruger, and you are the Senior Vice President and Head of LOB Finance for SAP. Welcome to the studio, Jens.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
And on the end there is Stefan Knight. Stefan, welcome back. You're the Vice President of Product and Innovation Services at SAP. Stefan, always a great champion of ASUG. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Tom. My pleasure.
So Don, what is this big news that I've been building up to here? Because you've got some exciting stuff happening. Could you just give us a little sense of what's happening at Florida Crystals?
So we went live with S4 HANA and Simple Finance 2.0. And if you listen to the real news, we did it in 4 weeks from GA, and actually 8 weeks from inception.
So let's stop there. 4 weeks from GA.
Actually 3, but I'm stretching it to 4. Right?
Okay, so beyond that fact, which is that's pretty amazing.
It is amazing, and I said we went live, and the we includes the SAP. You know we've got a partnership with SAP that spans 20 years. And we did we were in the cloud, as you know, no data center for 5 years. We're on HANA first, and now we've got Simple Finance 2.0, and it couldn't be done without SAP. Jens on the product development side took care of us through that very intense few weeks, and Stefan, as part of the customer validation program, was really critical. So for ASUG members, that customer validation program, it works. I mean, I don't think we would have been able to do it without the validation program, because we were ahead of that GA.
You were definitely ahead. You've always been a little bit of ahead, Don, I think.
That's right. That's right.
So let's just talk a little bit about why, we've heard here the keynotes about S4HANA. Everyone's got questions, and you are the case study. Why to go to Simple Finance 2.0? Why make this route for Florida Crystals?
So as a reminder of my story back in HANA, is we are not a development shop, so we rely on SAP for our IT solutions and innovation and feature functions. So that requires us to keep up with new releases. So when we do that, what we want to do is to leverage the faster we can get live with the newer technology, the advantage we can get, the innovation that we would have, and the feature function we need to run our business. Because I truly have no development shop. So that makes us want to get there first, right, so that we can get the time to benefit becomes that much faster.
Amazing. That's a really good point. And you're probably lucky that without the development shop as well, you don't have to.
I think it's the future. Those that want, we've got the HANA Cloud platform for those that want to do that.
Right.
But that offer to go back and say you don't need the development shop, and I don't have a data center. So think about IT when you don't have to worry about bricks and mortar and hardware, and you've got SAP is your development.
Right,
shop.
That's great. Great point. Jens, this was a huge collaboration, an extraordinary partnership. Can you talk a little bit about that and how this was able to ramp up so quickly?
First of all, that's the amazing timeline. That was very special, and when we made this decision 8 weeks ago, that we said we want to have the system live end of April, and there was the moment we made the decision that the partnership and now we're moving forward and working on doing it together. So we had development sponsors and development angels in there, so SAP supported it from the day one, and as a joint team. I think that was actually the key, that we had a partnership on this.
Absolutely, and Stefan, just adding, Don alluded to the customer validation program, which we're very big proponents of. Can you talk a little bit about that, Stefan?
Well, the customer validation program is around for 3 to 4 years, and it's not just designed for S4 or Simple Finance. But we were up against a very aggressive timeline from the beginning, and I would say between the idea and the realization, we had about 8 weeks. On top of that, Simple Finance was scheduled to be released by end of March. So the only way to be successful, quite frankly, I believe, was starting right away with the customer validation approach. And this is not just about making the software available early to the customer, but it comes with dedicated resources. We had a direct connection with, to Jens through what we call a development angel and a development sponsor in Jens' team. And I mean, it was day and night working on the issues and really moving the project forward.
Absolutely. Jens, did you want to add anything about that timeline being so aggressive, obviously, but also you've got a great case study, Don, now for Simple Finance 2.0. Anyone's got questions, they can go right to Don, right, Don?
Well, they can and they have, actually, throughout the conference here. So, and we'll make, let me do one thing that I do want to say is
Sure.
we talked about the teamwork with SAP, and Jens' team and Stefan's team has been great, working with my team, led by Pat Atkinson and Bill Blakefield. And we actually, I'll tell just a brief story, as we were talking about, I said, well, we really got to give the credit to the team, they're the ones that did it. And someone said, well, what about SAP? I said, they're part of the team, right? And I really think that's what it really excelled, and I think the customer validation program creates that blanket in which we work together.
For us, for the team, it was actually, we can do it. So having this aggressive timeline in front of us and say, yes, we want to show the world that we can do this, and that Florida Crystal will be the first one. And that's when you need one team, and I think we proved that.
We did.
Thanks, Don, again.
Thank you. We're the ones that are going to take advantage of it in the end.
And we love it that Don's an ASUG member, always leading the charge, so thank you very much, Don.
Glad to be it.
Gentlemen, thanks for coming in, appreciate it, and hope you enjoy the rest of your week here.
Thank you.
Tom.
For more customer stories just like Florida Crystals and all the great partnerships that we have with SAP, please go to asugnews.com.